Okay, everyone. So now we are learning the difference between structure and union. If we talk about the first difference, to define the structure, we use the struct keyword. But for defining the union, we use union keyword. So here in the structure, while defining it, we have given the name, that is employee. Now inside that, we are having is the body of structure. Inside the body of structure, we are having two elements. The first element is integer, which is code. So here code is the variable of integer type. Then the second element is char grade. So grade is a variable that is of character type. This complete thing is called defining the structure. In the same manner, we are having the union where we are having the name, that is employee, and here afterward we are having is the body of union. Inside the body, we are having two elements. The first element is int code. That means it is a variable code that is of integer type. And second one is the char grade. So grade is a variable that is of character type. So this is also called definition of union. So in the structure and union, we are having same syntax and we can have different data types. Just like in the structure, we are having int and character. In the union, we are having is the int and character. So structure and union both are the user defined data type, because here it is the wish of user that which data type has to take. So here we have taken integer and character in structure, and also in union we are having integer and character. So they both are user defined data type and they can contain different data types. That means their syntax is same, but their sizes are different. We know that inside the structure we are having int, and that int is of 2 byte. And second element is the character, and character is of 1 byte. So if we talk about the size of structure is equal to sum of the sizes of its element. That means 2 plus 1. So here the size of structure is 3 byte. So here the size of structure is equal to sum of sizes of each member. That means 2 plus 1 is 3 byte. But if we talk about the union, in the union we are having integer that is of 2 byte. And we are having character that is of 1 byte. In the union, we are having the shared memory, and that memory is equal to the largest element size. So here we know that 2 byte is the largest size. So here the size of union will be 2 byte. So the size of union is equal to the size of largest element. After defining the structure, now we are going to declare the structure variable. So here we are declaring the structure variable A. So once we are declaring this variable, then the memory will be reserved. So the first memory that will be reserved, that will be equal to the first element. So here the first element is int. We are assuming that our memory is of 1 byte. So that means int take 2 bytes. So 2 bytes are reserved. So here each block is of 1 byte. Let's assume that their address is, let's say 301, then 302. So here these 2 bytes, these are reserved and they are for the first element, that is code. So for the code we are having is the first 2 bytes. Now afterward we are having is the second element, which is grade. So here grade is of character type, and character take only 1 byte. That means one more block that will be reserved, which is of 1 byte. And let's say the address is 303. So here the second block that is reserved, which is having the 1 byte, which is grade. So here this grade is having the block which is of 1 byte. So here we can see that the first 2 blocks for the code means 2 bytes for the code, and then the 1 byte for the grade. So here in the structure we can see that each member is having the individual memory. So we can say that each member has unique storage location. But if we talk about the union, and here we are going to declare the union variable, that is A. At that time, the memory is reserved, and that memory is equal to the largest element. That means it is of 2 bytes. So here we are assuming that this is 1 byte of memory, and let's say the address is 301 and 302. And these 2 bytes will be shared by both of the elements. We know that the first element we are having is the code, which is of integer type. That means it will take the 2 byte. So when we will work with the code, at that time, code will consume the complete 2 bytes, means there are 2 bytes of memory it wants. And if we are working with the second element, which is grade, and we know that grade is of character type, so here it will consume 1 byte, and it will consume the first byte of the memory. So here in the union, we don't have the individual memory, we are having the shared memory. So here in the union, all the members share the shared memory. Now afterward we are having is the initialization, means providing the value to the elements. Here in the structure, we are saying the first value, which is 101. 101, it is the integer. So here the first member is code, which is of integer type. So here the first value we are initializing with 101. So the code, it is containing the value which is 101. Because it is of integer type, so it will consume 2 bytes. So the 2 bytes which it is reserving, those 2 bytes it is going to take. Similarly, we are initializing the second element by A. So here A is the character, and we can see that grade is of character type, and character consume 1 byte. So here grade is initialized with the value that is A, and character is of 1 byte, so here 1 byte will be used. So here we can see that inside the structure, we can initialize the several elements at a time. So in the structure, at the same time, we can provide the value, means we can initialize the value to all the members. It is possible because here we are having the individual memory. Every element is having their own memory. So we can initialize together. But if we talk about the union, here we have to initialize one by one. The reason is that we are using the shared memory. So here inside the union, we are saying A, and we know that A is the variable, and dot code. So with the help of variable, we are accessing the first member. So A is the variable of union, which is accessing the first element, which is code. And here we are providing its value, which is 101. And we know that this is of integer type, which consume 2 byte. So here code is having value which is 101. This 101 is integer, means 2 bytes. So the complete memory it is going to consume. So here 2 bytes it is taking. So in the union, only the first member can be initialized. In the union, we cannot initialize multiple members. The reason is that shared memory. Only one member can take memory at a time. So we have to initialize one by one. So the first member can be initialized on the first, then afterwards second, and so on. One by one we have to initialize. So in the starting, only first member can be initialized. Now after that, we are going to display the value of structure. So we are using the printf, means printing on the screen, %d, that is for the integer. And here a dot code, we know that a is the variable of employee, and here the member we are having is the first one, which is code. So here the first member we are accessing, which is code. So a dot code means its value, we know that the value is 101. So here its value 101 will be coming and displayed. So here the output will be 101. Now afterward we are having is the %c, that is for the character value, and here we are having is the a. We know that a is the variable of structure, which is employee, and dot grade. So we are accessing the second element, and the second element value is a. So here this A dot grade is having the value which is A. So using the percentage C, we are displaying the A. So the output will be 101 and A. Here we can access both members together in a single line. The reason is that because the individual memory. In the structure, we can access multiple elements at the same time. The reason is that because they are having their own memory. Because of the individual memory, everybody can be accessed at the same time. But in the union, we have initialized only one element, which is code, and the value is 101. Now we are displaying it. So we are saying printf means printing on the screen. Percentage D, that is for the integer value A. We know that A is the variable and that is of union employee. So employee variable we are having, and in the employee we are having the elements. The first element is the code. So we are accessing the first element which is code. So A dot code, its value 101. That is what we are going to take. So using percentage D, we are going to display it. So the output of this one will be 101. But here we don't have the second element because the memory is shared and the complete memory is taken by the first element which is code. So here second element is not initialized and we cannot take its value. So we can say that in the union only one member can be accessed at a time. Now in the union, if I want to initialize the second element, so we will write A. We know that A is the variable and that is of union employee, and here we are having is the second element which is grade. So here A dot grade means the grade we are providing is A. So here grade value will be A. We know that here we are using the shared memory and A is of character type because grade is character. So 1 byte. So here 1 byte will be taken by the grade. We can see that here the first byte is overlapped because of the shared memory, and that was used by the previous value which was 101. So that means that value is either corrupted or lost. So when the second element value is initialized, the previous element value is lost or corrupted. That is because of the shared memory, and because of this shared memory, we can only initialize one element at a time and we can access the element only one at a time. And now if we want to print that, we can print it. We can say that printing on the screen by printf percentage C for the character, and then A. We know that A is the variable and variable is of union employee. And in the employee we are having is the second element that is grade. So here we are accessing that and the grade value is A. So here A dot grade value is A. So by using percentage C A dot grade, we are displaying the value A. We can see that in structure and union, both ways the output is same. But here writing the code is different. Inside the union, we are initializing the members one by one. So here we can see that initializing the first, then access that. Then second initialize, then access that. But inside the structure, we have initialized both together, we have accessed both together. If in the union, you are trying to initialize both at a time, then only the current value will be taken, means the last value will be taken. Because when you are taking the second value, first will be corrupted or lost. So here in the structure, because we are having the individual memory, every element has its own memory. So in the structure, altering any member not affect the any other member. But in the union, every member are going to use the shared memory. That's why altering the value of a member will affect the value of other member. So here we are having the difference between structure and union. In the structure, we use the struct keyword, and for the union, we use the union keyword. Inside the structure, the size of the structure is equal to the sum of sizes of each element. So here we know that inside the structure, we are having integer of 2 byte and character of 1 byte. So their sum, that means structure is of 3 byte. But here in the union, we are having the size of union, which is equal to the largest element size. So here in the union, we are having integer of 2 byte, character of 1 byte, but the largest one is 2 byte. So here the size of union is 2 byte. In the structure, we are having the individual memory, means all the members have their own memory. So the first 2 bytes is for integer and the next byte is for the character, means everybody is having their own memory. But inside the union, we are having the shared memory. So the 2 byte, that complete 2 byte is given for all the elements. Because inside the structure, we have the individual memory. So here, several elements can be initialized together and several elements can be even accessed together. And here, altering the value of one member not affect the other member. But inside the union, we are having the shared memory. Because of that, only the first member can be initialized first. Then if you want to access the member, then you have to access member one by one. So only one member can be accessed at a time. And because of the shared memory, if you are altering a member, that will affect the other member. So that is all about the difference between structure and union.